these boys.
3, 2. One.
All right. Hey, Levi, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Albert?
I'm doing great. So
Good.
watched Before Dawn last week. I absolutely loved it. And dude, you pulled off an amazing lead role in this. And
Thank you. Thank you.
like, I don't know how much you had to take throughout this movie because you played a guy who just like, he went through the ringer and then some in the war.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brother translated.
So my first question is, what led you to take on the role of the lead here?
Yeah. So we shot this back in 21. And the director Jordan Prince, right? We were talking for a few years before that. He sent through the script and then he sent through the diary entries, of young men at the time that inspired the story and inspired the characters. And that was a big part of the sell, I guess, for me, was having access to those primary sources and being able to really immerse myself in the headspace of it. And also Jordan talked about the digging of the trenches, which you saw, the muddy trenches, which I like to be, when I'm on set, I like to really feel the experience, environmentally. And that was another big sell.
That's awesome. I mean, I felt like, yeah, he did. I talked to him. He did mention the trenches and how you guys really literally got your hands dirty. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it showed like the passion between you guys and Jordan. Like you wanted to make this film work because very rarely do we get military stories of these little stories. We always hear about the big battles. We rarely get to hear
Yeah.
about the little things here and there, and the impact it could
Mhm.
take on people, no matter how big of a battle or how little a battle is. So for me,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's why I felt like your role is important because you played a kid from the Outback, and you were new to this, and you know you get you're pretty much getting you're like the punching bag, if you will,
Mhm.
basically. And
Yeah.
what was it like to endure all that like abuse on? I mean, even though it's a character, but it must have felt crazy
Mhm.
to endure all that on set.
Yeah, yeah. So in that sense, like Jim and I had shared that sort of thing where it was, he went in not really knowing what the experience was going to be, and then, being in my case on set and enduring the trenches and the wet and the mud. Those are the real bullies, the the wetness and the mud, those and the wind and the cold. Those really, yeah, they were my bullies for sure. But yeah, I think that was a great thing that we both shared, and that helped me put myself into his shoes and get into his head and experience it. It was pretty confronting, and even though it is acting and everything like that, when we're tussling, we're really in that mud, pushing
Yeah.
each other around. There was a few points where, like the mud was so heavy, and we swallowed so much of it, we had to, go and spoiled it out. You know what I mean? Like I had to get rid. It was like, yeah, pretty authentic in that sense, in the environmental sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then I like the fact that as the film progressed, you casually starts to gain your confidence. Even and then there's a few setbacks where you get accused of leaving some guy behind, and you get that
Mhm.
one the one fellow soldier like confronting you, but eventually you do find your footing, and that's what I really liked. I like it's kind of like the underdog. Like it also felt like it was an
Yes.
underdog movie, totally underdog movie for your
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. I think it's both underdog and also just like the the building of the camaraderie is what eventually lets him settle. If that makes sense. Like and it was kind of again mirrored during the shooting where it was like the first time we got there. The like unforgiving environment was just like, wow, how are we gonna do this? Like every day just felt like it was getting crazier and crazier. And then eventually you settle into a sort of rhythm of um just like experiencing it. And in that way also mimicked Jim.
Yeah, definitely. And ultimately, you pulled off such a great performance in this movie. All you did actually. And I'm going to recommend this to people. They definitely need to check this one out
Thank you.
because,
Thank you, Albert.
like I said, we really get to see stories about the little battles, the little things here and there. And it doesn't matter. You can get PTSD from like, I don't know if Jim ever did it as a result or whatnot, but
Mm,
just to experience all that. And then thanks to your performance, I mean, I think you really nailed it.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So what's next for you after now that this is coming out this Friday? What's next for you that you can talk about?
Sure. So after shooting this one, a little bit of time after, I shot Craven the Hunter. That
Oh,
were, equally
that's
very
right.
different, but equally great. Yes. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
huge. Oh
So,
man.
yeah, I'm excited for that. But then like that's the comparison to like an indie small budget Australian film to like a Sony Marvel picture
Yeah.
overseas. Like
Night and day.
although completely different, they also like they still share that same journey. You know, you start shooting, you finish shooting, you make friends along the way, you experience different things. But yeah, that was a great experience as well.
Oh man, I'm definitely waiting for Craven Hunter. But in the meantime, everyone, you gotta check out Before Dawn. It's coming out this Friday. If anyone who likes military flicks, military dramas, they definitely need to see this one. I feel like this is an important film people need to see because no matter how big the battle, anyone can be affected by war. And Levi, man, you did such a great job, and congrats. And I hope you get some
Thank
sort
you,
of
Albert.
accolade.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I hope you get some
Oh,
sort of
cheers.
accolade for this for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, well, you take care and you stay awesome.
Likewise, dude.
All right,
Cheers.
see ya.